Today I will try to be cooking a dish from Chrissy Teigen's Cravings Hungry for More. She does have a first book just called Cravings, and then this is her second book that she came out with.
We will be making some smashed potatoes as well as some pan-seared steak with the spicy miso butter on top, and then pair that with the side of asparagus.
I will be going out to get some groceries and then we'll come back. Do is work on the potatoes, and the first step for that is to preheat the oven to 425 degrees. First, I'm going to rinse the potatoes, 24 little baby potatoes. I got about this much water, and it said ½ an inch of water. And then I have about 24 of these little potatoes. And then I just evenly disperse them because they are going into the microwave. I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap and then put it in the microwave for about 15 minutes. Pierce it with a fork and make a bunch of holes in it. I personally have never put plastic wrap inside the microwave, especially for that long of a time. So I don't know, this will be a first time, but I'm not too sure. Fork, and if it pierces through the potatoes easily, then it's ready. But if not, then I will microwave it for another 5 minutes. And if you need more water, then add a little bit more water to your bowl if necessary. I am more focused on the garlic miso butter and asparagus, so I'm gonna cook just a steak that I happen to have on hand at home, but everything else I will follow according to the recipe. My potatoes are ready. Let these sit on the side and cool them down so they're warm, because we're going to use our hands to smash them, and right now if I smash them I'm going to burn my hand off. I don't think I'll be using a whole stick of butter, so I'm going to reduce it down to my personal measurements. So this is the only one I could find at the store. I got this from Safeway, and these were about like $2 or so, which I feel like is expensive because I could get a whole like broccoli head for $2, but whatever. So I'm just going to mince these up. If you don't know what chives are, they are kind of oniony, I feel like. They're not green onions, they are chives. So it's like long and stringy, like that. I don't use chives too much. I guess the main like herbs I really use are green onions and cilantro. So for the butter, it actually said that it's supposed to be at room temperature, and I actually did not leave it out for long enough, so I'm gonna put it in the microwave for a few seconds, but make sure it's not melted. So since I used only half of the amount of butter they call for, I'm gonna cut everything else in half as well, except for the garlic, of course. So half of the recipe that it calls for made about this much, and I feel like this is enough, more than enough for one steak. Close call on that one. It is a little hard to mix because it's so buttery, but it's not too bad. I bet it's gonna be salty if I taste test it. That was really good. That is so good. I could totally imagine this on steak. It is very decadent because it's just butter. It also gives saltiness and that umami flavor, so you don't need any salt at all. But now they're cool to put the potato on the cutting board, and then you'll smash the potato with the heel, with the palm of your hand.
So I actually did not do this part correctly. The recipe said to oil the bottom of the sheet with salt and pepper first, following the potatoes on top, and then adding the oil and salt and pepper again, so it evenly coats both the top and the bottom.
Chrissy Teigen said put it on the floor of the oven, and floor is italicized. So I'm gonna put it at the very bottom of the oven and listen to what she said. Okay, now, so for the asparagus, I'm going to cut the ends off because the ends tend to be very tough and dry. And then she said to cut them into 2-inch thick pieces. So I don't know my measurements, but I'm just gonna say something like this. So now that I'm done finished cutting, they all look like about this much. About this much or so thick. Or long. Sorry, not thick, long. After I cook the steak, I will drain out the grease from the steak, except for a little bit, maybe about a tablespoon or so. And then it says to return the heat back to medium after you drained it, and then adds a little bit of butter and some garlic and cook it for about 30 seconds. And then after you cook it for about 30 seconds, then you add the asparagus and a cup of low sodium chicken broth. And you cook that until it has evaporated, so it will take about 2 to 3 minutes on that one. And then after that, you will just season it with salt and pepper.
So during this clip, I just took the potatoes out after 10 minutes, and then I flipped them over and I'll put them back into the bottom of the oven for another 10 minutes.
Yep.
啲人係咁講嘅。
Not bad. The miso butter is a little salty.
Which is miso baso？
Miso butter.
有咁嘅咩？唔好食。
It's a little salty.
太鹹啦！
I
你
made
俾
a
鹽
little bit
落去
salty.
咧？
No, because miso's already salty. I didn't put any salt in the miso butter. These are crispy though. These taste like chips. Yeah, potatoes are good. Potatoes are pretty easy. I would
太鹹嗰
then get some rice.
So overall, I would say that the food was really good.
I would definitely make the potatoes again because they were so crispy, and the outside was crispy and tastes like potato chip, but inside was still soft, and it was very good. In the book, it actually had, in the book, along with the potatoes, they actually she made a recipe for blue cheese dressing as well as a buffalo sauce dressing. For me, I didn't make that today, and instead I just used ketchup because I like it simple, but she does have that in her recipe book. The steak in the miso butter was good. It was just too salty, and I think I may have oversalted it, but yeah, overall is pretty good. Even though I reduced the amount of butter and all the other increments by half, I still had a ton of excess, and I didn't know what to put it on because it was salty. So honestly, I just threw the rest away. So maybe I would, if I did have the chance to make it again, I would make just enough for a certain serving of the food that I am making because it was a lot. The asparagus was good. It wasn't anything special, but it didn't taste bad. It was pretty good too. I would definitely make the potatoes again. I'm not sure about the steak with the miso butter. I honestly just prefer a plain steak with garlic, salt, and pepper. So that concludes this part of trying out the Chrissy Teigen's recipe. If you want me to make more, definitely let me know. But yeah, I'll just see how this goes. It was pretty fun making it, so I would love to make more in the future.